Hello, welcome to this winter solstice meditation for December the 19th of 2021. And I'm giving you the precise date because as I speak it is full moon and solstice eve is on Monday, so it is Sunday morning today, so we are still within the energies of full moon. We have planetary alignments going on, and of course we are in solstice energy. So I would like to give a little nod to the southern hemisphere people, and I will repost on the community page some of the summer meditations for the solstice. Okay, so I thought we would go to Glastonbury today, where lots of rites are happening at this time of year. So I'm just going to put some Yew Tree Oil. This is a perfume oil from a shop called Starchild in Glastonbury, and they do all of the OMs, perfume oils. And yew tree is toxic, but somehow they've wangled this and put other things in it. So let's just get some of this oil, and of course it won't come out. Typical, I should have practiced this earlier. But I'm just going to dab a bit on my hand then. And then oh, and it actually smells smoky of frankincense and pine as well. Okay, so I'd like you just to imagine that you are looking at a yew tree with its beautiful red bark. And I want you just to cast your eyes directly opposite you and down the trunk of this tree. You can absorb the yew symbol as well. And as the roots start to spread out, you may feel a little tickling or a little movement in your own feet as your roots grow and merge with this tree. And indeed, you then have a connection to all of the other trees in the area as all of the roots intertwine and merge. Yeah. 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 And the yew tree is the distance healing symbol for Celtic Reiki, because these ancient trees can last 2,000 years or more, and they regenerate. They rest their arms on the floor and create new ones. Very difficult to get a yew tree to germinate from the pips. And indeed all of the wood is toxic, but the berries and the flesh can be eaten. Okay. And now we're going to protect. So I'm just going to light a candle. And I want you to imagine this flame glowing and growing in the center of your being. And it is a pine scented candle, so you can imagine breathing in the fragrance of the pine needles, and as the fuel of the pine helps this candle to glow and grow, it pushes out any pain and any residue of negative energy that is within you that is not yours. So glow and grow that flame outwards to the sides of you. Push it out to the front and the back of you. And push it upwards and push it downwards until it creates a beautiful ball of fire energy around you. protecting you and keeping you safe and warm for our journey ahead. Okay, so we've grounded and we've protected. And I'd like you now just to imagine that we are on top of Glastonbury Tor. And it is about 4:30 in the morning, London time. There are lots of people up here, druids, pagans, witches and dignitaries, because we have rites to perform when the sun comes up. But we are actually on the eve of the solstice. So it's about 4:30. The moon has just gone over. So in your mind, just take yourself forward a couple of nights. It's slightly yellow, the moon, because it is now on the wane. But you can still feel its beautiful energy. And as I hold this, just imagine that energy and light shining down into your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar, your sacral and your base. And that moon's glade, the moon's light, travels down to your feet as well, bringing the energy the beautiful moon into you. And I'm just going to hold this above your head to further elevate you. Down your front again, and then we're going to place this at your feet. Pop your feet on the sphere of quartz. Take a breath in from the yew on my hands, and let's find ourselves somewhere to sit. The Glastonbury Tor is a big conical hill rising out of the flat plains. It is reported to be the Isle of Glass and Avalon, where Arthur was taken to heal and return when the time was right. The hill itself is a labyrinth, a tree labyrinth, and you can take a few days to walk around all of the paths and the ridges that it holds. There is a completely square tower on top, the only remnants left from St. Michael's Church. And one by one, we're going to walk through this square tower. And when you get to the middle, I just want you to look upwards and stand with your arms, your hands flat against the ground and your arms at an angle, creating the Ahwan. And as you look up, you can see the stars above, maybe Orion's belt, creating the drops of inspiration for the Ahwan, the creativity, the light, the nuefri that will run through you, igniting you as the new year starts, because the solstice is the beginning of a new year, isn't it? The winter solstice. And just stand there and let this energy activate as you stand within this portal. And I'm just going to put these koshi chimes down. And as you stand there, I am going to draw these symbols into you, and if I can hold them properly in the Arwen. Okay. So in the middle, we have Taina, the holly, a protective tree with her red berries and her prickly leaves. She can protect you. We have the Holy Thorn, which we are going to go and meet in a minute. Holy. And we have the ivy. Gort. Pushing those into you. Giving you strength. Giving you fire. Giving you protection and giving you pathways. Think of the ivy and how it twists and it turns. Some places lead nowhere. Some lead right the way up a tree or along the ground. New pathways for you to travel down. And when you emerge out of the other side of this St. Michael's Tower, the sun is beginning to peep up over the horizon in the east, and we all turn and face the rising sun. The glow upon the clouds is a beautiful violet and rose colour. The sky turns to apricots and bright, burnishing orange like our candle. And soon it rises. And everybody cheers, drums are banged, bells are chimed. And the shortest day of the year is here. The sun will stand still in the sky, or so it would appear. And on the third day it will appear to move again, heralding the birth of the sun god. And in our modern day, that is why they cited the birth of the Christ here. The Mabon has risen and been born, the child of the year. Breathe out. Bathe in the glory of the sun. Think about all of the things you are going to do under it this year. Think of your plans ahead. They may be small, some of them may be big, but they may have to have some fluidity. As things change, you need to bend like the pine tree in the wind, so that when a big gust of wind comes, you don't snap off. You just move and slightly tweak things. So now all of the revellers start to walk down the tor. We could pick up our belongings and we follow the procession. And the tor has steps, they're quite big steps down one side, and we descend. It doesn't take too long because it is straight down. And we get to the bottom, to the oak trees, to the apple trees, to the birches and the other hedgerows. We walk through a gate following the Druids and the dignitaries. We carry on through the town towards St. John's Churchyard. We file in and we stand around the Holy Thorn. The descendant of this tree was said to have been planted by Joseph of Arimathea when he came here after the crucifixion, bringing the Grail. He planted his staff in the ground, and it is said that the Holy Thorn grew from this. And ever since, the people of this place have cut cuttings, hardwood cuttings from this tree, because it is very difficult. In fact, it is impossible to germinate because it is a mixture of two trees. It is a mixture of black thorn, strife, which has thorns like that, grafted onto a prunus, onto a cherry. And it flowers at this time of year. And around 100 years ago, a sprig was cut at the solstice and given to Queen Mary. Almost 100 years ago, in 1929, this happened. And ever since then, the school children and the dignitaries and the Druids, the priests of this place, have gathered on the solstice, and they have cut a sprig of the Holy Thorn. And the Queen has this on her table at Christmas Day. So the dignitaries start singing. The school children chime in, and we, if we know the words, follow. Gaudete, Christos is notes, ex Maria Virgine, gaudete, Christos is notes, ex Maria Virgine, gaudete, la 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 la. Gaudete, Christos is noces, ex Maria Virgine, gaudete, Christos is noces, ex Maria Virgine, gaudete, la 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 la, la 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 la. And this is sung as a rhyme, this medieval hymn, the Gaudete. And it is sung as a round, and it keeps singing as the sickle, and it would be a golden sickle, cuts a sprig of the Holy Thorn, and it is gifted to the Queen's dignitaries, who would immediately head up to London. And then the Druids bring in a little tree stump as an altar. Quert, one of the holy apples of this place, from the side of Glastonbury, where the priestesses would take their apple fasts, and the trees are weighed down with the all-heal, the mistletoe. And this is then taken around the circle. And a druid follows it. And cuts off a little sprig for you. All heal, this was called. And you take this, and I want you to just think of who you would give this to, this all heal. Who needs this that you know? Just think of them and gift this all heal to them, and feel the joy of gifting it to someone else. Because in the act of giving, we also give to ourselves, don't we? We give for the joy of it. And it doesn't matter if we don't get anything in return at this time. Because at some other time, somewhere down the road, or somewhere further up the road that you've already been past, has gifted you something. So I gift this to all of you. I gift this for your healing, body, mind and spirit. The berries stand for fertility because they look like the colour of male seed. And whichever tree this is grown on, whether it be pear, apple, or the most sacred growing on the oak, you will also have the essence, the chi of that tree as well. It has a symbiotic relationship with the tree that it grows on. And at this time of year, the great boughs are chopped in the West Country, and they have a mistletoe fair, and big boughs of it are bought and sold. But you have this little sprig as a gift of joy, love and happiness and healing. So take this now as a token of my appreciation, my love and friendship. Okay. So just let that drift into your auric field. We're all getting a little bit cold now in the winter sun. Been up all night. We need to go to one of the cafes in Glastonbury and have some breakfast. And you will see druids in robes all over the town. Probably talking to priests in robes. We all look much the same these days. So just before we go, I'm just going to elevate you again with selenite. But I want you to think of that tree again. I'm going to do a twofold here. We're going to do a grounding and an elevating at the same time. Look at your tree. Cast your eyes downwards. and into the ground, and feel your roots growing. We've had a lot of trees today. We've had the yew tree, we've had the holly, we've had the ivy, and we've had the hawthorn. We've also had the blackthorn, and we've had the prunus, the wild cherry, and the healing of the mistletoe. But let's also remember the energy of the frankincense. The golden frankincense from Oman, and thank you to my friend Leslie who sent this to me. The frankincense, the golden frankincense, which is also incredibly healing. And at this time, if you can get some oil and dilute it, and perhaps rub it into your chest if you've got respiratory issues. This is the tree holding the breath of life for you. Okay. So we've grounded. You've still got your beautiful ball of protective fire around you. And now we're just going to let the scene of the grove fade away. And I leave you with the best wishes for your new year. See you soon.